Fusion tons on his. So he's going to put a 14 full float axle in the back and a 60 in the front. I think he's going to go up to 40. So that's going to be a beast on the trail. I can't wait to see that.
That would be like one of them that you would end up trailering. I mean, you wouldn't want to drive that all the way out to Colorado, would you, on the highway?
Well, I would, because it would be a lot of fun.
Well, Tim, you've always been pushing the edge, Tim. We know that just by your looks.
I got a question about going back to the crawler. Now, that's where you're spotted going up all the, trying to navigate all the big rocks and boulders and things? Is that what that's mainly what you're doing, the crawler?
Yeah.
So do you have spotters?
Yes. And Tim is an excellent spotter.
Okay. All right.
We actually we have a trail leader training class that we offer our members once a year. And part of that training is how to spot people off the trail safely. So our rule is, we never leave anybody behind. In fact, I had a brake failure going down Black Bear Pass in Colorado.
Oh.
And I had to leave my Jeep there and have it recovered. So, but the cool thing is we all stayed together as a group.
Well, Mr. Mars knows about loss of brakes on a hill. Actually, it was a Jeep event. I don't remember what What was the Jeep? The Compass?
Compass.
It was the Compass. And here all the factory people are here on the top of this mountain. And I mean, it's scary up there because there's not a whole lot of... The only thing you can do at the top of the mountain is turn around and go back down.
No runoff.
Yeah, there's no runoff. And here are all these factory people, and here goes Mars straight down this hill, and he ain't stopping.
There was a tree at the bottom.
Is that what? Yeah.
Wow.
And they had to take him off to the hospital.
Sad but true.
Yeah. And so there's that. There is some danger involved there, as Richard Tomlin will tell you on his Pikes Peak hill climb. But
his wife will, although he did say he should let him drive it now that the insurance policy's paid up.
Yeah, that's great.
8 guardrails, but they don't know where they're at.
Yeah, they don't know where the guardrails are. I think they took them out years ago, but at any rate. All right, so what do you guys got coming? We've got fall coming up. We've got to have some adventures.
Yes,
Moab.
so we have a 101 class coming up on August the 11th in Crossbar.
Wait a minute, a 101 class?
One-on-one.
Yeah. So
one-on-one?
101. A training.
101.
It's training for people that are new to off-roading.
Oh, cool.
And where and when does that take place?
That's on August the 11th up in Davis, Oklahoma at an off-road park called Crossbar.
It's next Sunday.
Next Sunday.
Yes.
Interesting.
It's also a memorial run for one of our members who unfortunately passed in May. So kind of a combined event.
I was just going to say a dual meaning.
Yeah, I think that's a great idea because down here where we have sand, we have mud, we don't have a lot of rocks.
And with your experience with crashing and burning a Jeep Compass down the mountain.
We have fire.
The sand makes that a whole lot easier. But I have been to a couple of events that were pure rock crawling with Jeep, and it was a total different experience.
Yeah.
It just...
Yeah.
Well, this was rock crawling going up.
Well, it was, but not. No, it was more like a dirt road going up. But the experience that we went to in Arizona, they literally was like these guys are talking about. You got boulders and stuff you're going across. They got spotters, and we got some really good video out of it. But it was just totally different in what you do and how you do.
Yeah. Well, I guess it depends on the venue. Where are you going to go? You're going to do rock crawling. You're going to do hill climbing. I mean, there's so many different
you see
things.
Lots of videos of people climbing hills.
Yeah, there's all of that. And then, gearing, horsepower, tires, suspension, all of the components that goes into Jeeping.
Yep.
Wheeling.
Yeah, rock crawling is a methodical. To me, it's a methodical process when you rock crawl. It requires planning, it requires communication, and to do it safely. So it's one of the fun things about that sport. And great.
I need to have somebody that knows what they're doing to tell me what to do, show me how to do it, whether they're sitting in the passenger seat or they're outside pointing which way to go, turn the wheels this way, that way, come on, bring it on, some sort of encouragement, if you will.
Support.
Yep.
and understanding the hand signals too, right? Because we don't use left or right, we use passenger driver, right? So to eliminate confusion, things like that.
Well, I've got my own set of hand signals.
Just
that,
went through that.
Houston
Yeah.
traffic hand signal.
Yeah, traffic hand signals. Liar. That's not what I meant, and you know it. He's trying to cover for me here.
I think I know what he means.
Yeah, we all do.
Actually, I actually know exactly what he means. But we won't do that.
There's that. Well, it sounds like lots of fun. So, how do we down here in Houston, Texas, get a hold of you guys at the Lone Star Jeep Club?
We have a website called lsjc.org. It's a website that has all of our events listed for the rest of the year, and people can sign up on that website. We also have a Facebook group that people can join, and a Facebook page as well. So that's one way to reach out to us and keep in touch. We're going to Palo Duro in September as well, to go to that off-road park up there, and we're looking forward
Now,
to that.
talk
too.
about something completely different. That would be it.
Yeah.
It is
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, it's the second largest canyon
in the U.S.
in the U.S.
Yep.
So when you drive up there, you
I didn't
drive
know
down
that.
into it, and they've got some very technical trails and easy trails, and they've got spelunking, mountain biking, and hiking if people want to do that too. So,
Well, I got my leader hosen ready.
Spelunking. What is that?
well, come on up. We'll get a picture. We'll get one of those big, you can blow into the big horns. And,
Yeah.
Oh.
Ricola.
What is splunking?
Spelunking.
Spelunking. What is that?
It's caves.
cave
is it?
exploring.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
okay.
exploring.
Yeah. All right.
You need to watch different videos,
I
Jeff.
think so.
Jeff's from Michigan, so just have to leave that alone, Spelunking, yes.
Spelunking.
Well,
Hey, Michigan's a great. I lived in Michigan. Michigan's a great place.
There you
It's a
go.
good
See
place.
there. Thank you for the backup.
yeah. And, hey, man, we appreciate you guys taking the time to talk to us on this Saturday morning. It's great to talk to you, great to meet you, and hopefully we'll be able to connect with you guys. If you ever make it down to Houston, give us a ring, and we'll do the
Yeah.
same when we're headed up north.
That would be great.
Sounds great. We'd love to connect with you. Yeah, really appreciate the time.
thank you.
Hopefully everybody was safe from the hurricane. Looks
Yeah.
like y'all.
Yep.
Looks like we all
were
made it.
Safe, so
Yeah.
We survived.
made it, yeah.
All right, very good. Gentlemen, thanks again, and we'll talk to you again soon. All right. We need to take a little breaky.
Okay. I got to get it loaded.
Okay.
Hey,
You can catch.
we're back on the videos portion of the show.
What happened?
Pixie dust. He had a little pixie dust he sprinkled on everything, and
You sure it wasn't paprika?
well, that's what got it.
We're not saying what
What it was? Yeah. White peppercorns. That's what it
white
was.
pixie dust.
Hey, you can catch the In-Wheel Time Car Talk Show 24/7 through the iHeartRadio app. Just look for In-Wheel Time Car Talk. We also video stream our live 2-hour weekly show on Facebook, YouTube, and InWheelTime.com. And podcasts are at your favorite podcast provider. The In-Wheel Time Car Talk Show will continue right after this quick break. Pro-Am Auto Accessories has been serving Houston's auto enthusiasts since 1984, providing world-class products for sports cars, European sedans, and American muscle. Pro-Am is known as the place to go to find exclusive and hard-to-find parts and accessories. Pro-Am is one of the very first distributors in the USA for brands such as Recaro, Redline, Momo, Corbo, and Simpson. Located in the heart of Houston's premier retail and service corridor, the Galleria area, Pro-Am's walk-in storefront includes an 8,000-square-foot warehouse, showroom, and installation bays. Pro-Am not only sells parts and accessories, but also offers installation and service. Pro-Am is now reaching a worldwide audience through Pro-Am.com, taking its local reputation to the rest of the world. At Pro-Am Auto, you'll be dealing with a small group of professionals who truly want to help you with your automotive needs. If you don't see what you're looking for on the website, call and Pro-Am will lend you a hand. Pro-Am Auto, 6125 Richmond at Green Ridge in Houston's Galleria area. Call them at 713-781-7755. Want to feel good about something special you did for someone special? In-Wheel Time and the original Lupi Tortilla group of Tex-Mex restaurants have joined together to help a very worthy cause, God's Garage, a Christian-based 501c3 charity. We know there are lots of places and organizations out there where you can donate a car, truck, or SUV, but we're asking you, our car enthusiast family, to consider donating to God's Garage. Visit godsgarage.org and learn about its mission, the women that have been helped, how each one is screened, and about their Restore You program. A car donation is an easy way to make a difference in the lives of others. God's Garage needs good operating vehicles, but will take all types in working and non-working condition. Make your heart and soul feel good by donating your gently used vehicle and help support single mothers, widows, and wives of deployed military at godsgarage.org. Thanks for joining us on our broadcast here on In Wheel Time. Every Saturday we do a live 2-hour production on Facebook, YouTube, and InWheelTime.com from 10 a.m. to 12 noon Central Time. So tell your friends about us. If you happen to be a guest, tell all your associates that you're going to be on.
Right.
Let them applaud you after you've gotten ridiculed and
Is that
ruined.
what they do? They're supposed to do what?
Ridiculed.
No, applaud?
Applaud.
Oh, okay.
What-
Making sure.
What did you have in mind?
No, applauding is good.
Okay.
That's a good thing.
Okay.
He's just
All right.
not used to it.
That's right. I want to know how your new band is coming
Well,
along.
we're on a high. This weekend, the guitar player is off for family things going
Yeah.
on, which is fine. And then next weekend, Kathy and I are going to do some things for anniversary. So I'm out on that. So we're going to go
Are you
back.
coming here? You going to do the show
Oh, yeah.
next
yeah,
Saturday?
Yeah, absolutely.
Because I think what my plan is anyway is to go from here out to NRG to see Craig's show
Uh-huh.
and support my friend.
Right.
Yeah. I think I would like to do that, but I'm going to go meet somebody that wants us to do a remote later in the year and do some testing at their site to make sure technically we can do that.
Well,
And what would that be? Where would that be? Friendswood?
No, not that far. No, it's the other direction. The school.
Nort?
The lady we talked to at Tailpipes and Tacos that talked to us.
Oh, yeah.
It's a school
I
district
know who you're talking about.
museum
Right.
fundraiser thing.
He's going to check out the internet. And Saturday's Jason's celebrating Jason's birthday. So Saturday's the birthday, Sunday's the anniversary, so all kind of stuff.
Gotcha.
Oh, I
And then-
could do both because Craig's deal runs all day, doesn't
Yeah.
it?
Saturday
2 days.
and Sunday.
2 days.
Saturday and Sunday.
Yeah, so
at
I won't be
NRG.
over there very long.
Pardon me?
I won't be over there very long testing the internet for that remote.
Well, come on back.
That's kind of what I'm
And
thinking.
if anyone out there is interested, tickets are how much?
$20.
$20 at the door, and get in there, check it out. It's going to be the first. It's the not annual, but it's going to turn
yeah.
into an annual.
Yeah.
This is the premiere or the kickoff event.
Yeah,
of
it
that,
is.
So
And that's the Texas Elite Auto Showcase at NRG next Saturday and Sunday. And tomorrow is Chrome and Coffee
Yep.
out
We
at the
talked
Avalon
about that.
Diner.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, time now for Jeff's Motor Minute here on
yeah,
In Real
well,
Time.
we found some research, and I sent the boys this earlier in the week that Mr. Fast Jack Beckman is going to be put in the seat of John Force's funny car through this end of this season. No indication on whether he's going to replace him for next year. But Jack lost his ride in 2020. He went back to his original job. Do you know what Fast Jack Beckman did before?
No.
He was an elevator technician.
you
he
know,
repaired
I
elevators.
saw him mention something
Yeah,
like that.
when he was leaving, he
and I
mentioned
thought he
that.
was kidding.
Goofing. Well, he also had a driving school. Fast Jack Beckman taught all 3 of the Force girls to get their licenses in NHRA.
Oh, yeah, when he was down with the guy, the
Yep.
driving school
Yep.
down in Florida.
Right. He's not replacing John overall, but he's going to take his seat in the interim. Through
And
the
he's
end of the
also
year.
going to have whatever points he gets, they go toward John.
Right,
Not toward him.
He's his first race to get back in the groove and get his license updated is a non-points event. He's doing that this weekend. And then Force continues to recover. He had a traumatic brain injury suffered following a catastrophic engine explosion. He spent much of the past month hospitalized, including 3 weeks in intensive care. So thoughts and prayers did help him out on that. He was transferred to a facility in Southern California near his home in Yorba Linda, so he's doing some treatment and therapy there. It remains uncertain whether he'll be back next year as a full-time driver or if this is the time to retire or not. That's up to John and his family, and those decisions are made there. But in the interim, Fast Jack Beckman's going to take the ride, and he's going to do well. We appreciate the Jack. Yeah.
And
Chevrolet.
we're
Gonna
working
be
on
pulling
Fast
for him.
Jack coming on the show with us.
We
Couldn't
had
do
him.
it this
Yeah.
weekend because of the race. He's got another race coming up.
We'll
Bernard
get him on.
We had him on a couple years ago.
Yeah, we did.
We did.
Yeah, they said yes. We just got to find a date.
Yeah.
Yep.
He's a great guy, and I think that you'll really enjoy it. And
I
we're
like
pulling
that.
for
Very
him.
outgoing. Yep.
Time now for this hour's car review. Had a chance to drive the 2024 Nissan Z. Comes in 3 configurations. Starts off with the Sport. That's the base model. Then we go to the Performance. And then we go to the Z Nismo.
Uh-oh.
That's what I had, the Z Nismo. This is a 2-seat sports car. Exterior changes from last model year? None, really. Doesn't need any. exterior features: sleek, small, two-door coupe with accented front and side arrow on it, fat, street-legal race tires, dual exhaust tips, small hatch-mounted spoiler in the back, and unique tail lights. It has a two-tone paint job. It's got a black top on it. And I was looking at it, and it's a sticker.
Really?
The black part of it is a sticker.
It's like a wrap.
Kind of, yeah. What I like, the overall conservative race style look to it. What could use improvement? Well, I don't understand these charges that you get charged for a premium paint job. I would like to think that all of my cars have a premium paint job on them.
You'd think.
But for the Nissan Z Nismo, you're going to get charged a $1,700 fee for their premium paint as opposed to your regular paint.
Deluxe.
The deluxe paint, yeah. That was deluxe apartment on the east side, isn't it?
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah. The Jeffersons.
Yeah.
Interior highlights: glitzy interior. Ours was red and black. Soft materials throughout. It's really a nice, sophisticated cabin. It's tight in there, though. Smooth shifting electronic shifter on the center console, paddles on the steering wheel. Recaro seating. You know, Recaro's going out of business. They filed for Chapter 11.
Wow.
Well, I don't know that they're going out of business yet.
Okay, they filed for Chapter 11.
Yes, absolutely.
They're
Bankrupt.
reconstructing.
3 extra gauges atop the center dash.
I like that.
But it's not what it used to be back when it was the 240Z. Now it holds the boost, the turbo speed, and the voltage gauges within those 3 pods.
Oh.
Interesting, is it? Cargo trunk room, small. What I liked about it, well laid out controls in the small cabin. What could use improvement? Well, if you really wanted to add some weight to it, which is against the grain, really, with this sports car, race car, you'd add some electronics to it. Give me some power seats. Didn't have any. It's all manual stuff. 3-liter V6 non-turbo engine, 420 horsepower.
Wow.
384 pound-feet of torque, and a 9-speed automatic transmission. Got 17 in the city, 24 on the highway for a combined of 19. I got 23.5 miles per gallon over 417 miles. What I liked about it, the smooth power coming on that strong, fast feel that you get. There was no turbo lag. This is a weekender's race car that you can drive back and forth to work. Wow. It is a great little car. What I liked about it, well, there's 2 ways to look at the stiff suspension. If you're 21 years old, you're going to love it. If you're 70-something years old, you're going to get out of there, if you can get out of there, and you're going to go, you know,
I need some more Advil.
You mentioned that earlier before the show that it was tough for you to get in.
Yeah.
What I'd like to see on this car, adjustability, not just algorithms for the motor and transmission. And it has that, so you can go through, the sport, the regular, the plus, whatever they are on the console. Right. But it's basically the algorithms for the shifter and the engine speeds. So if you want to race the car, it's got a button for that. I didn't do that. But it's there.
You didn't push the red button?
I didn't.
Tempting.
I pushed it to see what it would do.
Yeah.
And all I could see is it downshifted it and bumped up the RPMs.
Don't touch it.
Base trim price on the Nissan Z is, that's the Z Nismo, $66,230. Price is tested $68,690. That includes delivery. Wow. The base model price on the car, if you just want to get into one, $42,310. That would be a fun car.
Yeah.
But, if you want to race the car, get the Z Nismo. If you just want to drive it back and forth to work, that's what I would recommend. Because it's plenty fast.
And you can still take it out to
Of course you could.
Well, and then you do the add-ons to the base model.
Yeah.
So what am I going to compare it to? Well, the price is tested with $68,690. The Corvette starts at $68,300.
Uh-huh.
The Toyota GR Supra, which, $46,400. That's where it starts. Now that would be comparable to the base model price of $42,310. And the Mustang, I thought, well, 2-door.
Oh yeah,
it's got 2 seats in the back that nobody can use, so it kind of qualifies. Exactly.
Yeah.
So $30,920 is for a Mustang 4-banger turbo. And that's my review of the 24 Nissan Z Nismo. I'd like to thank
70 grand though.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah, I know. But you know, you got if you want to play, you got to pay.
Yeah, it's true.
Thank you, Steve Parrott with Nissan, for letting me drive your car. Appreciate it. Had a good time with it. All right. If you'd like to get in touch with us, shoot us an email. The address is info@inwheeltime.com. We'll be right back with the rest of our show after these brief messages.
The original group of Lupe Tortilla restaurants will have you telling your family and friends just what the original recipe means when it comes to the best fajitas in Southeast Texas. Founder Stan Holt invites you to visit the first Lupe Tortilla near I-10 and Highway 6. Here is the original house that inspired the design of all the rest and the original charm that helped make Lupe Tortilla the go-to destination for Houston Tex-Mex. Nothing can compete with the original lime pepper marinade that everyone will agree makes Lupe Tortilla award-winning beef fajitas the best anywhere. Lupe Tortilla Katie's another location that gives you the same quality and service Houstonians have come to expect at Lupe's. It's located on 99 the Grand Parkway at Kingsland Boulevard in Katy. Find yourself in Aggieland? Head to the Lupe Tortilla in College Station. Located just around the corner from Kyle Field, it's a great place to enjoy those famous frozen margaritas before or after the game. Going to Louisiana, the Lupe Tortilla in Beaumont is on I-10, so you can't miss it. The original group of Lupe Tortilla restaurants has the best Tex-Mex anywhere, and you're invited anytime. Your car is a direct reflection of you, so don't be satisfied with color fade or a dingy, dull appearance. Get rid of those terrible automated car wash scratches. Gulf Coast Auto Shield is your Save the Paint company. John Gray and his team of detailing experts can help your cars finish without a full repaint. Searching for the real experts in window tint or windshield protection? Gulf Coast Auto Shield. Dash cams, radar detectors? Gulf Coast Auto Shield. Got a new car? Get that thing protected as soon as you take delivery. If you don't know which of the multitude of protection products to go with, John Gray will give you an honest opinion and won't sell you something you don't need or can't afford. John will help you understand the many options and pricing right on the spot. He's your guy to have your ride looking its best and protected too. See the state-of-the-art shop yourself. Free tours anytime. Gulf Coast Auto Shield is easy to get to, located just south of the Southwest Freeway on the Sam Houston Parkway. Gulf Coast Auto Shield, full-service luxury car care today, and online at gcautoshield.com.
This is the world's favorite place to go for fun, informative car talk. It's the In Wheel Time Car Talk Show. Just ahead, we talk to lemon law expert Eric Stotts. If you feel like you got a bad deal, keep taking it back to the shop. I know somebody that recently has done that. He's the guy to talk to. We're going to talk to him and get all the latest. Jeff has the racing calendar. Mars has This Week in Auto History, and I'll get you caught up on the stories making automotive news headlines. Howdy, along with Mike out of this world, Mars. We always need more Jeff Zekin. I'm Don Armstrong. So glad you could join us today. We got our video fixed, so that's always a good thing.
Yep.
So let's go out to the left coast.
Okay.
And joining us now is Eric Stotts. He's the COO, Chief Operating Officer for Lemon Law Experts. Eric, thanks for getting up.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for having me, guys. It's a pleasure to be on the show.
I know you never get up this early on a Saturday morning, do you?
Well, I've got 3 kids and 2 dogs, so there's plenty to get up early for.
Yeah.
So, I'm up already.
Yeah, because if you're not up, they're going to make sure you are up.
That's right.
So I understand that you're part of the Lemon Law Experts Group. And tell us about the Lemon Law Group and what you guys do.
Sure. So we're a law firm. It's called the Lemon Law Experts, and we stand up for consumers that get a bad deal on their cars. And I don't mean a deal in terms of the financing. I mean a deal in terms of basically the performance of the car, its safety, its use, its value. And if those things are not honored by the manufacturers that sell the car to them, then we stand up for the consumer and we litigate with the big car manufacturers to get them to make it right. And in some cases, that means them buying the car back from the consumer or giving them some money for their troubles or replacing the car.
Yeah.
So consumers don't generally have a voice when it comes to these big car manufacturers. They got big litigation departments and lots of money, so they're hard to fight against. So that's what we do exclusively. And we do that in California. We have about 26 attorneys that litigate full-time against the big car manufacturers and standing up for the consumers.
Now, do you do this just in California?
We mainly do in California, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's,
And so,
one of the-
for somebody here in Texas, where we are, then I assume that if you didn't take it on, you would be able to find us somebody that deals in this sort of thing?
Yeah, referral.
Yeah, well, incidentally, our managing partner, Jess Scanbar, she's an attorney barred in the state of Texas also. So we can take on Texas lemon law cases. So we
Aha.
we
Jessica, you're my friend.
See, Mike's not used to talking to attorneys without a subpoena, so that's why he's being a little quiet over here.
That's it.
I
right.
should be clear to you that just as a discllaimer, I am not an attorney. I'm the chief
okay, we're good.
officer of a law firm, but I'm not an attorney.
You're the
Yeah.
guy that runs the show.
I help with the operation. There you go.
That's a nice way to put it. So, Eric, I have a friend of mine that has a relatively brand new, a 2024 model, half-ton pickup truck. He spent a lot of money on it, as you can imagine. I'm sure you've dealt with this. And he's had engine problems with it. And it is apparently a known issue with some of these half-ton V8 engine trucks, and probably in other vehicles too, but his was a truck. And he took it to the dealership. They couldn't find anything wrong with it. He said, no, there's this noise coming from the engine. Well, they kept it a few more weeks, and they wound up having to replace the motor. And from my experience through another friend of ours that does decreased values, if you replace the motor in a vehicle, the numbers no longer match, and that's a decreased value. Do you guys do things along those lines for lemon laws?
Yeah, so when it comes to lemon law, it's anything that affects the safety, the use, or the value of the car. So, once the engine has been replaced, and that's a pretty substantial issue. If it happens multiple times, if there's multiple issues for the same thing over and over again, that's usually when we would get involved. And that could include anything from, power loss, repeat issues, braking issues, check engine light issues, electrical issues, exhaust issues. As long as they're repeat issues, that's the key factor there. And then the dealership representative, or the manufacturer representative, which is the dealership doing the repairs, try multiple times to fix that unsuccessfully. That's usually what triggers us getting involved.
Gotcha. And we do a recall segment in this program, usually every weekend. And there have been, it seems to me, without being too methodical about going back and knowing the exact facts, but there seems to be that there have recently been an uptick in major recalls. And the latest one that we read, 100,000 Toyota Tacomas with a V6 engine being recalled because of an engine issue in the manufacturing problem. They're recalling them, and they're going to replace the engine. No questions asked. Bring the car in, we'll put you a new engine in there.
Yep.
I'm going, how much money is that going to cost? An engine costs a lot of money. And for a manufacturer to replace 100,000 of them, because there was debris in the engine when they manufactured it, and apparently the debris kind of adds to it eating itself internally. And I'm going, oh my God, how does this happen to 100,000 motors? And I would imagine that you've probably been involved in some of the recalls and lemon law stuff with that.
Yeah, so interestingly enough, so we heard about that one. That's going to cost Toyota about $1.9 billion just in the parts alone, engines, not to include the labor, right? So that's a huge issue. And then one of the other ancillary issues that you can think about when it comes to recalls is, I'll give you a fact here. In California alone, in 2021, according to Carfax, there were 6.3 million unrepaired safety defects being driven on the road. So cars that should have been recalled and fixed for safety issues, substantial safety issues like loss of power, seatbelts that fail in a crash, airbags that explode, loss of steering, stuff like that. 6.3 million in California alone. We're still on the road because people may not know about the recall. They don't want to deal with the recall. They don't want to take it in the dealership to get it done. Who knows? It could be a bunch of different reasons. But the point is, there's a lot of vehicles out there driving around that should be recalled and aren't. And in just California alone, there's over 6 million.
But most of the time, at least what our experiences is, there's an effort for that recall. I mean, you hear about it on the news and things, and they send out mailers and stuff. But if it's a car's changed hands 2 or 3 times in its life, the person that actually owns it today may not be aware of it, like you say. That's a problem.
But, the other thing is, in that regard, is and we encourage all of our listeners to periodically go online to the NHTSA website, and all you have to do is type in your VIN number to find out whether it's been fixed or not, or whether there's even a recall on the thing. And so the things are in place to be able to make your decision easily. Call your dealer, your Toyota dealer, or GMC dealer, whoever it is. You call them and say, hey, look, I've got a vehicle that's been recalled. How can we get this repaired? And sometimes, not all, but Toyota even said, hey, look, we'll replace the motor in it. We'll give you a car to drive. Bring it in. Let us fix it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's great info. You guys are in the 99th percentile of educated consumers out there when it comes to car issues. So if more people knew that, there'd probably be more happy consumers out there with their cars. But unfortunately, not too many people know about that. Incidentally, we recently did a study about the angriest car owners, angriest car owner brands out there.
Yeah.
And one of the things that drove the most anger from car owners was having to deal with recalls. It was a big deal. And lots of lawsuits and recalls related to the brands that people owned. So that, for example, the Takata airbag issue alone, that affected 7 million vehicles. And that was probably the single most infuriating thing that consumers had to deal with. People have a pretty high expectation when they buy a car. You spend a lot of money on a car. Most people's car purchase is, the second biggest or the biggest purchase they're ever going to make.
Correct.
And if that doesn't function really well, they get pretty bummed out. And in a lot of places in America, especially in California, where you got urban sprawl, you need your car to get to work, to get to school, to get to everywhere. And if you don't have multiple cars in your household and your car fails, that's a big problem. And that's why people come to us to help them out when they have a problem with their cars.
Well, like the Takata deal, I mean, sometimes you go back 2 or 3 times for the same issue. They're doing recalls on the recalls.
Yeah.
And that's where I think it really gets people frustrated.
Yeah, I can tell you if it's something of interest to your listeners here, we do have some cars that we have found, car brands that generally don't have a lot of issues.
Well, we would like to hear them. So tell us what they are.
So consistent with our experience here, and this is based on our sample size of cars that we get calls for that people want to lemon. We generally don't get a lot of European cars. We don't get a lot of Toyotas, Lexuses, Subarus, Volvos. As I mentioned, European cars like BMW, Mercedes, Jaguar, Mini. We don't get a lot of Mitsubishis. Those are pretty consistently really far down the list of cars that we get calls for with issues. So if you want to bet on a car to get that's not going to have a ton of issues, from our experience, those are the ones that we'd bet on.
Okay, so go ahead.
Now,
we also generally don't get a lot of supercars or high-end sports cars. We don't get a lot of Ferraris. Or
no, because those guys, $250,000. Oh, it needs an oil change. Just the cigarette butts need to be just get rid of the car. I'll just go buy me another one. That's how that works.
See, at that point where you're saying Mercedes hit a light for me, because we do a lot of Mercedes recalls. It's just that you don't get it on the lemon law side of it. Correct?
Yeah.
Okay, but they do have recalls.
One of the other things that's skewing the supercar, hypercar thing there is that those car companies have a great deal of pride in their cars. So when you take one of those cars into the dealership, they want to make sure it's fixed right. And they're not going to send it back to the consumer in some wonky condition that's going to have them coming back in for the same thing over and over again.
What are the top 3 worst cars that you get on the lemon list?
So we generally lemon a lot of Fords. So for everyone out there that's a Ford guy, sorry to break the news to you. A lot of Fords. I'm going to give them to you in kind of the top-down list.
Please do, yeah.
We get a lot of Nissans. We get a lot of FCA cars, so that includes Jeeps, Rams, Dodge, Chrysler. I'd say about order. Most Jeeps, then Rams, then Dodge, then Chryslers. And we also get a lot of GMs. And probably in the order of most to least, we're looking at most Chevy, then GMCs, and then Cadillacs. You know, I'm personally a GMC Sierra driver, so I don't really like to hear that. I love my GMC Sierra AT4X HD. Haven't had any problems with it. I'm on my fourth one. But we generally do get a lot of Sierras and, you know, big trucks from America.
So your data, from your perspective, your data is individuals that have called in and said, here's my problem, and it's not like the massive recall from Toyota about replacing
His is strictly lemon law stuff.
I know, but I mean, that's what I mean. It's very specific, so whenever you say your biggest problem is the GMCs or whatever, that's based on real life data that you're getting from consumers, not some report someplace.
Right. So that's based on what we're hearing from our sample set of inbound calls and inbound emails and people interested to lemon their cars. And, you know, it's not, is it representative of the entire population of the United States? Probably not, because most of our call are coming in from California. So that's our sample set. But California.
That's a big sample.
We're one of the biggest lemon law firms in the country, so we've got a pretty good data set to draw from.
So you're driving a big GMC monster truck in California. How do you get away with that?
I got 3 little boys. They like monster trucks.
Okay. So, there you go.
I defer to them.
Well, Eric, it's great to talk to you. And the name of the organization, once again, is the Lemon Law Experts. And you got a connection in Austin, Texas. Good for you.
Yeah, we appreciate the time, guys. It was nice to chat with you here.
And thanks again for taking the time away from the boys. Give them my apologies. But lucky you got 3 kids, and wish I were there again.
And a big truck.
And a big truck, yeah, that everybody likes. So, Eric Stotts, thank you so much again.
Thank you, Eric.
Absolutely. Take care, guys.
You
Have a
too.
good weekend.
Hey, if you'd like to get in touch with us, In Wheel Time is the place to go, and we'd love to hear from you. Info at In Wheel Time. The In Wheel Time Car Talk Show is available 24/7 through the iHeartRadio app. Just look for In Wheel Time Car Talk. We also video stream on Facebook, YouTube at InWheelTime.com, and podcasts are available from your favorite podcast provider. The In Wheel Time Car Talk Show continues right after this quick break.
Pro-Am Auto Accessories has been serving Houston's auto enthusiasts since 1984, providing world-class products for sports cars, European sedans, and American muscle. Pro-Am is known as the place to go to find exclusive and hard-to-find parts and accessories. Pro-Am is one of the very first distributors in the USA for brands such as Recaro, Redline, Momo, Corbo, and Simpson. Located in the heart of Houston's premier retail and service corridor, the Galleria area, Pro-Am's walk-in storefront includes an 8,000-square-foot warehouse, showroom, and installation bays. Pro-Am not only sells parts and accessories, but also offers installation and service. Pro-Am is now reaching a worldwide audience through Pro-Am.com, taking its local reputation to the rest of the world. At Pro-Am Auto, you'll be dealing with a small group of professionals who truly want to help you with your automotive needs. If you don't see what you're looking for on the website, call and Pro-Am will lend you a hand. Pro-Am Auto, 6125 Richmond at Green Ridge in Houston's Galleria area. Call them at 713-781-7755. Want to feel good about something special you did for someone special? In Wheel Time and the original Lupi Tortilla group of Tex-Mex restaurants have joined together to help a very worthy cause, God's Garage, a Christian-based 501c3 charity. We know there are lots of places and organizations out there where you can donate a car, truck, or SUV, but we're asking you, our car enthusiast family, to consider donating to God's Garage. Visit godsgarage.org and learn about its mission, the women that have been helped, how each one is screened, and about their Restore You program. A car donation is an easy way to make a difference in the lives of others. God's Garage needs good operating vehicles, but will take all types in working and non-working condition. Make your heart and soul feel good by donating your gently used vehicle and help support single mothers, widows, and wives of deployed military at godsgarage.org.
Thanks for joining us here on the In Wheel Time Car Talk Show as we start to wrap up things. I want to now tell you about, well, actually, Jeff wants to tell you about the racing calendar. He's been biting the bullet. He has been here since early this morning.
I was still allowed to be here before 9, and I snuck in at 10 to 9. So theoretically, Indy is actually off this week. They don't go back until August 17th, a couple of weeks. You've got tomorrow, Road America is running on the IMSA circuits. F1, they are off. They concluded the Belgian Grand Prix last week, and they're off until the August 23rd. And I'll tell you why in just a minute.
They went through the whole case of waffles.
There you go. NHRA is the 18th with the Lucas Oil NHRA Nationals in Brainerd coming up on the 18th. And NASCAR is off. Why is everybody off?
Everybody's getting ready to go back to school.
No,
it's too hot.
The Olympics. They didn't want to take up racing, competing against all the Olympics. And
I'll tell you what. I thought last week when they started the Olympics, what am I going to do when it ends? I've only got a week left.
Huh.
I guess play all the stuff that I wasn't able to see.
Yeah. Well, Kathy's been recording some things that she knows she couldn't watch live, and so she's been recording some of that stuff to go back and check into. Obviously, you know the results and all that, but if
you want to see how it happened.
Yeah.
Time now for This Week in Auto History, Mr. Mars.
Yeah, buddy. So I found several different things that were real interesting. And we're going to start with, on July the 28th, 1958, named for the son of the founder, Henry Ford, the Ford Edsel came out as a vehicle of the future. Had multiple advanced features for that price segment, came in 4 models, 2 different wheelbase lengths, and it became the symbol of a commercial failure. The Ford Edsel, it was one of the most famous failures in automotive history, was introduced on July the 28th. And discontinued after 3 years.
Am I the only guy that likes it? I don't mind that car.
I think it's ugly as hell. Look at
Particularly
that grill.
color. Yeah.
And the color.
Then moving on to July the 29th, 1967 was the birth of the Plymouth Roadrunner. Came out as a high-performance muscle car designed to be a cheaper, lighter GTX because of the popularity of GTX. They wanted to sell more of them. Came with a 383 as a standard motor. And a 4-speed manual transmission was the standard. You had to opt up for the automatic that most of them I ever saw were that way.
Stinking automatic in a hot rod?
Well, in a car like that, they projected they would sell 20,000 the first year. They sold 45,000.
There you go.
And using the Warner Brothers Roadrunner cartoon character and the horn that they spent $10,000 to get the rights for.
Yeah.
Lawrence.
The other thing I found, July the 31st, I did not know that the first Corvettes, the first 300, were built in Flint, Michigan. Mm-hmm. That's where they started out. It was convenient because it was close to the tech center in nearby Warren, so they built the first ones there till they got it going. Then they moved it to St. Louis.
That's a C3. Why are we looking at a C3?
Because
because we haven't got to that point yet. No, that's the right picture. Mm-hmm. But July the 31st, 1981, the last Corvette came off the assembly line in St. Louis. They made almost 700,000 of those cars in St. Louis.
The worst build quality you have ever seen in an automobile in your entire life. I owned one. Yep. I had a C3.
Then they moved.
Oh, my God, it was awful. The paint job sucked.
Well, that explains a lot. I never knew they were made there. And anyway.
Yeah.
So they moved it on to Bowling Green. And then on August the 1st, the AMC Gremlin was the first American subcompact car introduced. Had an unusual design and just started out.
I disagree with that statement because the Corvair in 1960 was built to compete against the Volkswagen Beetle, and that was a subcompact.
Mm-hmm. I don't know that they consider that a subcompact.
Okay, well, all right, fine. You just go with
theoretically. It does not say it's the first. Let me rephrase. One of the first.
There you go. Let's back that bus
up. I was talking instead of reading.
Yeah, you're talking what?
Talking out of what? Go ahead.
That too.
Go ahead.
Anyway, that was the things, particularly the Corvette, that I found interesting this week in automotive history.
Cool.
Learned something new.
You do.
Every day. Speaking of Corvette, Taj Yukter.
Oh,
Former
how's he
executive
doing?
chief engineer of Chevrolet's Corvette will be honored with a special emblem on the vehicles, starting with the 2025 models. After 47 years at General Motors, 31 of which were devoted to the Corvette, GM announced Juchter's retirement in April at the age of 67. Tony Roma,
Oh, yeah.
not the football player.
No.
I was going to say.
And not the pizza maker.
Oh, no,
But the
then.
former chief engineer for the electric Cadillac Celestique, or Celestic, whatever you want to call it, Elastic,
Stop it.
succeeded Juchter on July 1st. Juchter's retirement coincides with the release of the new Corvette ZR1 that I told you has got 1,064 horsepower. This is the biggest step we've ever done, Tad Juchter told Automotive News. Early on, years ago, we had no idea we could get 1,000 horsepower to maybe 800 as a ceiling. GM said it will include a special graphic of Juchter's bust on the rear glass of the 2025 ZR1 Coupe. On the top left of the split rear window. Yes, it is. Did you see the pictures of it? It's got a
I
split window
did
in the
not
back.
see the back.
The icon of appreciation will continue beyond the 2025 model year when the front windshield glass and front tunnel reinforcement panel of every Corvette Stingray Z06 E-Ray and ZR1. Congratulations to him. I think it's
Yeah.
a great tribute to him and all the things that he accomplished in all the years at Bowling Green. Automotive suppliers are grappling to find workers and facing higher expenses, even as the Federal Reserve signals that labor supply and demand are in balance in the economy for the first time in years. That stands in contrast to the broader U.S. economy. While the overall labor market remains strong, it has cooled to the point where supply and demand appear to be fully back in balance. That, according to Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell, if you want to believe anything the government says anymore. But while suppliers could see interest rate relief, there's less indication that parts manufacturers will see improvements in labor availability and costs in the coming months. Suppliers have cited labor availability as the key issue since the beginning of the pandemic more than 4 years ago. So, good luck.
Yep.
Let's see. Auto industry watching in the November U.S. presidential election with keen interest. This from Automotive News. The report said a fed-up public might pressure the next administration to do something about high vehicle prices, which now average about $47,000 for a new
awful.
vehicle. Good luck in buying a new car. And you know, people are hanging on to their cars a lot longer, 12 years to be exact
Yeah.
now. That's the average age of an aging car,
Mine's
12
11.
years.
Mine's
Is it?
11. Yeah. And
Mine's much older than that.
Kathy keeps saying you need to start thinking about it here pretty soon.
You know what you need to do? You need to call our buddy the Emmons brothers down.
I need to figure out what I want to do to begin with. I got to get
A plan in place.
Yeah, I don't have a plan yet.
But don't show up early.
No.
Just saying.
I will.
I know you will. Dealerships already spooked by the CDK global cyber attacks face new cyber threat risks stemming from global CrowdStrike outages on July 19th.
Yeah.
CrowdStrike is a cybersecurity provider whose problematic software update led to a crash of Microsoft Windows systems globally. Now criminals are trying to profit off the incident through bogus emails encouraging dealers to fix their systems. I know that we have dealers that listen to this program. A July 31st warning issued by cybersecurity consulting firm Helion Technologies cautioned that cyber criminals are pursuing what's known as a social engineering phishing attack. They're using a fake internet domain that appears to be CrowdStrike, and in an email are encouraging dealerships to click a link for an immediate patch. Don't do it. Call your supplier, the guy you know,
Yeah.
and say, "Is this you?" And he's going to go,
Nope.
"That ain't me. Don't
Yeah,
do it."
Hack it, and then you'll be in more trouble.
Yeah, exactly. Let's see. Chrysler Pacifica Hybrid.
There you go, Michael.
2017 to 2018 being recalled because of a vehicle fire when park it away from any structure vehicle. I just wanted to get
That
that
could be
in.
a problem.
For Michael.
Yeah, well,
Thank
no,
you.
this is the 17 and 18 model
Yeah.
years, but
A little
you know that doesn't really add to sales in the Chrysler Pacifica
No,
realm.
it does not.
Would you think? Anyway,
It does not.
by the way, a 1970 AMC AMX. Okay.
Oh, we're doing the.
Yeah, yeah,
we're
yeah.
doing the guess?
No, we're not. No, because I don't have time for that.
Okay.
But it went for Hemmings.com sold cars roundup this week for $63,525,
What year?
a 1970 model.
Oh, wow.
All right, we're going to wrap up today's In Wheel Time Car Talk Show right after this quick break.
The original group of Lupe Tortilla restaurants will have you telling your family and friends just what the original recipe means when it comes to the best fajitas in Southeast Texas. Founder Stan Holt invites you to visit the first Lupe Tortilla near I-10 and Highway 6. Here is the original house that inspired the design of all the rest and the original charm that helped make Lupe Tortilla the go-to destination for Houston Tex-Mex. Nothing can compete with the original lime pepper marinade that everyone will agree makes Lupe Tortilla award-winning beef fajitas the best anywhere. Lupe Tortilla Katie's another location that gives you the same quality and service Houstonians have come to expect at Lupe's. It's located on 99 the Grand Parkway at Kingsland Boulevard in Katy. Find yourself in Aggieland? Head to the Lupe Tortilla in College Station. Located just around the corner from Kyle Field, it's a great place to enjoy those famous frozen margaritas before or after the game. Going to Louisiana? The Lupe Tortilla in Beaumont. It's on I-10, so you can't miss it. The original group of Lupe Tortilla restaurants has the best Tex-Mex anywhere, and you're invited anytime. Your car is a direct reflection of you, so don't be satisfied with color fade or a dingy, dull appearance. Get rid of those terrible automated car wash scratches. Gulf Coast Auto Shield is your Save the Paint company. John Gray and his team of detailing experts can help your cars finish without a full repaint. Searching for the real experts in window tint or windshield protection? Gulf Coast Auto Shield. Dash cams, radar detectors? Gulf Coast Auto Shield. Got a new car? Get that thing protected as soon as you take delivery. If you don't know which of the multitude of protection products to go with, John Gray will give you an honest opinion and won't sell you something you don't need or can't afford. John will help you understand the many options and pricing right on the spot. He's your guy to have your ride looking its best and protected too. See the state-of-the-art shop yourself. Free tours anytime. Gulf Coast Auto Shield is easy to get to, located just south of the Southwest Freeway on the Sam Houston Parkway. Gulf Coast Auto Shield, full-service luxury car care today, and online at gcautoshield.com.
Well, that's all for this week's In Wheel Time Car Talk Show. Be sure and check out our website, inwheeltime.com. Follow us on Facebook. Give us a like. Tell your car friends about us and share our stuff if you would. We'll keep you connected to all things automotive all week long. We'd love to hear from you. Our email address is info@inwheeltime.com. And if you talk smack, we'll read them on the air. Don't hold back.
We'll send Mike to your house.
When you're but will he show up on time or too early?
Too early.
When you're looking for award-winning car talk, you can find the In Wheel Time Car Talk Show 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app. Grab a podcast anytime from your podcast provider. And don't forget, we live stream this show on Facebook, YouTube, and InWheelTime.com every Saturday from 10 to noon Central Time. The In Wheel Time Video Technical Director is We Need More Jeff Zekin. For booking agents and video editor and people finder, Mike Out of This World Mars. Chief Engineer David Ainsley. I'm Don Armstrong. We hope you'll join us next week here on the In Wheel Time Car Talk Show. That's going to be Saturday, August the 10th. Time for the Texas Elite Auto Show at NRG. But we'll be here from 10 to noon Central Time on all of your In Wheel Time Car Talk outlets. Have a great weekend, and we'll see you next week.